Can start.
Yes, I think so. Okay. So, dear listeners and speakers, a warm welcome to our online event today, dedicated to celebrating women and girls in textile field. It is a pleasure to host all participants from the countries of the Balkan region. Events such as today's were outlined in the recent past with the aim of weaving new stories in the distant future. As an early endangered profession, textile and clothing engineers, in order to survive the influx of other fields, really need to deepen the connections to build a strong and interconnected community. This is, in fact, the mission of all of us working and contributing to BASTE, an active society operating since 2018 and steadily increasing its membership. If, in any aspect of your life, you have not seen your impact, the BASTE community is a place where every contribution is appreciated and heard. So, if you're missing these feelings of being heard and seen in any aspect of your life, you are always welcome to open the door to active participation. Women and girls are in fact very active in the field of textile and clothing engineering, bringing a soft touch to textile research and industry, weaving their knowledge, emotions, and imagination for a better tomorrow of the whole society. As mothers are to a child, so women are to the textile field, as they protect and nurture its long-standing traditions. Their contribution cannot be diminished, and they truly deserve to be recognized in the science as an important part. So, with these thoughts in mind, we begin today's event. And firstly, I would like to ask Professor Dr. Andrei Dimscher, the president of BASTE, for his welcoming speech.
Thank you, Nina. And of course, thank you, Ilda, for organizing this very important event. So, dear colleagues and dear friends, in 2015, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution dedicating February 11th to the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. Today, we come together to celebrate this day with special attention to our Balkan region, to our Balkan women and girls in textiles. We are here not just to celebrate knowledge, curiosity, and discovery, but above all, to recognize the invaluable contribution of women to science, research, innovation, in fact, to all fields of life. This day is an opportunity to reflect on the role of women in all fields of life, and at the same time emphasize the importance of their inclusion in all spheres of research, innovation, academia, economy, and so on. But in fact, it is a shame for the humanity that we have to have a day like this. In fact, we have to honor the role of women in our lives every day. Throughout history, women have made groundbreaking discoveries and breakthroughs, often overcoming significant barriers to do so. From Marie Curie's pioneering research in radioactivity to Rosalind Franklin's crucial role in understanding DNA, women have been at the forefront of scientific innovation and progress in general. The contribution of women is essential and too little and too late appreciated. I'm sure that the future will be different, not just because of our rising awareness, but unfortunately also because the jobs in science, academia, textiles, and so on are not well paid. And this is another battlefield for the equality of women in the future. So the purpose of the day is therefore not only to celebrate the achievements and equalness of women, but also to draw attention to the challenges regarding equalness of men and women that we have today. It is our collective responsibility to challenge barriers and create an environment where everyone, regardless of gender, can develop the best that it is within them. To achieve this, we need education and mentorship. Schools, communities, and families, we all play a crucial role in growing this potential. In this way, we can inspire the next generation to push further the idea of equalness. We must promote policies and practices of gender equality in the workplace. This includes equal pay, opportunities for promotion, and a culture that values diversity and inclusion. When women succeed in science, academia, or some other field, we all benefit from their unique perspectives and contributions. Can you imagine what women and men could achieve if they worked in true balance, each empowered to bring out the best in them? I believe in balance. Only balance guarantees a success in all fields of our lives and for the benefit of all. The world in balance would be much better than it is today. So let us today celebrate the achievements of women and girls and commit us to create a future where their contributions are recognized and valued every day, and not only one day as it is today. I believe that together we can build a more inclusive, kind, gentle, and balanced world. And again, at the end, I would like to thank Ilda and all other women and girls who organized this event. And with this, I thank you for being with us. I can see that it's quite a great number of us here at this event. And I wish this event a great success. Thank you.
Andrei, thank you for your speech, and thanks for the enlightenment of the next steps of our society. So it's a forecast for the future, what we should do.
Yeah, thank you, Nina.
So now, in the line, greetings for Balkan women in textile. And I would like to ask Associate Professor Ilda Kazani, a very important part of this community, for her speech.
Thank you very much, Nina. It is truly a pleasure to greet you today on behalf of Albanian BASTE community. On this special day, we gather not only as professionals, but as well as a community which celebrates not only achievements, but also potential. We celebrate the Women Day, who lead research, who innovate, who teach, who inspire, and especially the young girls who will shape the future of our field. But I am also happy that in our event, we also have men which support us. Across the Balkans, women are playing a strong and visible role in this transformation. We see them leading research projects, connecting design with science, developing sustainable solutions, and building bridges between academia and industry. But beyond expertise, they bring collaboration, perspective, balance, and that makes our scientific community strong. To the young students who may be listening today, textile engineering is not only a traditional field of the past. It is a field of the future. It connects chemistry, physics, material science, digital technology, environmental engineering, and design. It offers solutions for healthcare, mobility, architecture, sports, fashion, and sustainability. So there is space for your ideas, your curiosity, and your leadership. That's why we welcome you to come and to give ideas for different activities that we can organize in our BASTE community. Through BASTE, we are not only sharing knowledge, we are building a regional network of support, cooperation, and innovation. Let us continue to support each other, collaborate across borders, and encourage the next young generation in this field of textile science. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Imla. Next speaker, I would like to ask Professor Dr. Izak Karabegovic. He's a coordinator of Bosnia and Herzegovina for BASTE. Is he here? If not, we will continue with Professor Dr. Zlatina Kazlacheva. She's a coordinator of Bulgaria of BASTE. And she's also very active in supporting BASTE with different graphic designs, with her imagination. So please, Zlatina.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, we all here are very, very happy because we have one of the most beautiful professions. And by this reason, it is normal that our profession is so feminized. And as the coordinator of Bulgaria, I will say that in Bulgaria, most of Bulgarian researchers and professors in the field of textile and fashion engineering and design are women. Most Bulgarian students and PhD students in the field of textile and fashion are women and girls. And in the industry, most of Bulgarian professionals in textile and fashion industry are women. And this is normal because one part of the mission of women and girls is to heal this world with beauty and harmony. And of course, I want to wish all Balkan women and girls in textile and fashion health, a lot of success, harmony, beauty, happiness, and amazement. And of course, I want to thank all our male colleagues and friends for their support to the more beautiful part of BASTE community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zlatina. From Bulgaria, we are going to Croatia. So I would like to ask Associate Professor Ivana Schwarz for a few words.
Good morning to all. It is a real pleasure to see so many women gathered here today, and of course, a few brave men. At my institution, the University of Zagreb Faculty of Textile Technology, 85% of our staff are women. So for us, the International Day of Women and Girls in Science is not only a celebration today, it is really our everyday reality. When you work in textile, you quickly realize that women are not just a part of this field, they are this field. So across our region, we are connected through shared projects, knowledge, and a long textile tradition. And days like these are simple reminder that while we work on our research, We are also building visibility, confidence, and opportunities for the next generation of women and girls, of course, in textile science. So therefore, thank you all for being here, and I wish you all very inspiring and enjoyable event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivana, for your inspiration and good statistics from your faculty. The next speaker is Professor Dr. Savas Vassiliadis, coordinator of Greece for BASTE. So, Savas, please.
Hello, I'm in a very difficult position because I'm a minority. Me and Andrei were the minority. So we are very happy to be with you, I mean the ladies. And really we enjoy this historical continuity. That means that from the ancient times, the women were involved in the spinning and weaving operations, which were keeping the family warm in the winter, and they were decorating the home and so on. And this activity, thanks God, is until today in the same sense. It means that it was not an obligation over the centuries. It was really something giving joy, making the ladies who were in that time closed in the houses and the buildings, it was giving happiness. This creativity was helping the ladies to have a positive aspect in the life. So I mean that we are lucky that we have you in our society. You are the majority of the engineers and the designers in our society, and we are extremely happy to be with you celebrating this very important day. So I believe that the people who were in charge of this organization, Andrei and Zlatina and Ilda, and of course Nina, are really, they have worked hard, and I would like to congratulate them for their efforts and their excellent final result.
Thank you, Savas. We are also happy to have you and men here on our event. And thanks for your contribution. And the next speaker is also man, Professor Dr. Kirill Lisichko, a coordinator of North Macedonia for BASTE. I would kindly ask for a few words. Okay, it seems we have to go further. So from North Macedonia to Montenegro, Professor Dr. Jelena Đukanović, so coordinator of Montenegro for BASTE. I would like for a few words.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, dear colleagues and friends. I greet you from Montenegro. I am very happy to be able to contribute to BASTE's activities within the framework of the International Day of Girls and Women in Science. I thank you for the invitation, and especially Ilda and Nina for the excellent organization of this event. See you later. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jelena. I hope we see also in the future events like that.
I'm sure.
The next speaker is from Romania, Professor Dr. Mirela Blaga.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear colleagues, dear friends, for these nice moments we shared together. I'm a great believer of networking, of organizations, of friendship over the years. So I act accordingly during my life. And I'm very happy that BASTE is growing so nicely through us and through the next generation, which is present here. I noticed few PhD students from our university, and I'm very happy they respond to my invitation. As you know, for many, or maybe you don't know about Iași, we are very proud that the single faculty in Romania of textiles was for many times and for many years, and it's still in Iași. It was set up in Bucharest in 1934. And then it was moved in 1952 in Iași because the region was Textile 1 production. And since then, yeah, I can say, like in your countries, we were mostly women. In my year when I entered, we were out of 400 new income students, 8 were boys and the rest were girls. Of course, in time, the faculty shrinked, but the percent between women and men remained. Nevertheless, the industry and the research and the education in general was always naturally, let's say, supported by the women due to, let's say, our native characteristic, first patience and hardworking mainly. And I think indeed these are characteristics that we used every day, not only in our work. In case of Romania, we have a rich legacy of women in science in general. And the first women engineer in the world was a Romanian lady, Eliza Leonida Zamfirescu. She was not accepted in Romania to any polytechnic because she should follow the 3K, Kirche, Kuchen und Kinder, church, cooking and children. So she went to Berlin in 1909 and she graduated there as the first engineering women. So it was always probably a battle inside of us to prove that besides being able to give lives, to cherish lives and to educate, to prove that indeed we can contribute more to the world. And I'm very proud of being a woman. I'm very happy, I said it all the time, to be in the right part of the world where women are seen or cherished or celebrated, even if one day in a year. And it's really important that we have a peaceful territory and countries to do so. And I pray for all women in the world to live like us, because I think we should be happy for this. Thank you. And I'm happy that I said to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mirela. I believe that the world needs a lot of believers and also achievers as you are. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So the next speaker is coordinator of Serbia for BASTE, Professor Dr. Snežana Stanković. I would kindly ask for a few sentences, thoughts,
Thank you, Nina.
ideas.
Thank you, Nina. Dear colleagues, students, and friends, women have always predominated in textile sector, whether in the basic textile production, private entrepreneurship, education, or even science. I believe this is a matter of tradition, actually. All these women have always faced various challenges regardless of job type. What can improve women's position in textile sector is advancing our skills and engaging policymakers in dialogue on important issues affecting women in the sector. Although only textile researchers, students, and students and PhD students are present here today, I see this event not only as a celebration of International Day of Women and Girls in Science, but also as an interactive forum for education and our networking. Therefore, I wish to thank all the presenters today and the event organizers. Thank you. Additionally, on behalf of myself and my colleagues from Textile Engineering Department, Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy, University of Belgrade, I want to congratulate this International Day of Women and Girls in Science. All women and girls present at this event, stay courageous and persistent on your way. Thank you.
Thank you, Jelena, for your contribution as well. And so here we are at the last greeting. It will be from Professor Dr. Arzu Marmali. She's a coordinator of Turkey for BASTE.
Thank you very much. Dear colleagues and dear friends, it's a great pleasure for me to join you today at the third online event, Balkan Women and Girls in Textile, organized to celebrate the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. On behalf of Turkey, I would like to thank all organizers for bringing us together once again. Events like this are very important because they remind us that science grows stronger when women and girls are fully included, supported, and visible. Today, in the textile field, we are living in a time rapid transformation. Women and girls bring creativity, resilience, and new perspectives to the textile sector, from sustainability and circular production to smart materials and digital transformation. In the Balkan region, we are proud to see many talented women leading research groups to industry innovations and mentoring the next generations. On this special day, let us continue working together to inspire the next generation of women and girls to support to each other's achievements. Thank you very much, and I wish all participants a successful and inspiring event. Thank you.
Thank you, Arzu, for your speech as well. So after all these inspiring speeches and insights, I think that we are ready for going deeper in the textile field. So after this, I would like to ask Ružica Stevkovska-Stojanovska to take over this microphone and to drive us further in the textile field.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I would like to say at first that it's such an honor to be part of this event. As first guest in this session, I would like to introduce Professor Dr. Lidia Georgieva, which is a full professor at the Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy in Skopje, part of the Cyril and Methodius University in Macedonia. She graduated in fashion design at the Parisian School of Applied Arts Dupré, with a scholarship from the French government and recommendation from Christian Lacroix. She also holds a master's degree in graphics art from the Faculty of Fine Arts in Skopje, Macedonia. After she won the European Content of Young Designers Award in Paris, she started as assistant at Pierre Balmain, continued working as responsible design for Rojas, where she designed cocktails collection, and furthermore, she designed for all other well-renowned fashion houses in France. Lidia Georgieva founded her label in 1999, presenting her work in designers' shops in France, UK, Italy, Japan, and USA. Today, together with her students, she also works on projects on fashion shows, art exhibition, costume design for movies, theater, modern dance, and in 2020, she started exploring the universe of home design as well. She will present on topic connecting design and scientific innovation. Professor Lidia, please, you're welcome to share with us your presentation.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Of course, I'm new to this kind of gathering, and I hope it will be interesting for you. Dear Mirela, I was at Bucharest before the COVID. There was a worldwide reunion of a French-speaking lady organized from the United Nations. And the main speaker said, dear ladies, you are just the half of the humanity. So, you know, for me, it always startles me to know that women are still needing to fight and prove their value. It's just crazy. And also, she addressed to the gentlemen present in the reunion, just as our gentlemen present here. she said, you're very intelligent to join us. So I'll start like that. I will share my screen. Share. Okay. You will just please confirm that you are. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I was told to prepare a presentation that has to do with cross lines between design and innovation. So in that spirit, I chose 3 projects that attract my attention lately. The first one is done from a French architect, Clarisse Merlet, that founded her society Fabrique. This research started from a school project when she found a way to gather a lot of rejected textile waste. She found a way to shred it, put it together with ecologically friendly glue, and then compress it in a brick, which is the origin of the name of the brand Fabrique. And her innovation doesn't use only brick. She doesn't produce only bricks. She applies her innovation for decoration of clothes stores, also lampshade holders, also some interior designs. So it's a project to be watched for. Invented, which is obtained from waste of fruit sugars. Extensible layer of cellulose that after economy, but created, and thus the circle is closed also. And this fabric, this material can be used. So it's
Lydia, I don't know how the others, but I don't hear you. It looks like that the internet connection is not.
It's not good, yeah, for me as well. So I would suggest, Lydia, if it's possible to turn off the camera, maybe it will improve
and
it.
what, Ilda, if you have the presentation, perhaps you can share it and
I think the presentation is okay, only the problem is that we cannot hear in continuous, Lydia.
Yeah.
So that's why I suggest that she turn off the camera, because
okay.
in this way maybe we can hear her better.
Now we don't see the presentation. So I was thinking if we would have the presentation and we would share it, and then Lydia would just turn off the camera and present it.
Yeah, but first let's see if Lydia is online. because
Okay.
no, she's not online. Because I can share the presentation. The only issue is that she will not be online.
Yeah.
Because the presentation was really very interesting and
Yeah.
maybe can scratch the mind of some BASTE members in order to do collaborations.
Of course.
So maybe we can continue with the next speaker, Rosita, and
Yes.
Yeah.
then
Okay.
give the opportunity to Lydia to join us later.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
the
Okay.
presentation was really very interesting.
Yes. Second guest, I would like to introduce Professor Dr. Jelena Đukanović from Montenegro. She graduated from the Faculty of Applied Arts, Department of Textile in Belgrade, earned a master degree from the Faculty of Fine Arts in Cetinje in the Sculpture Department. She is employed as a lecturer at the Faculty of Design and Multimedia, Donja Gorica University, teaching textile. Costume designer for 22 theater production, 8 feature films, 9 TV dramas, numerous commercial and music videos, and 15 fashion collection inspired by Montenegro's textile culture heritage. Engaged as a textile expert on national, European, and cross-border projects in the field of tangible and intangible textile cultural heritage. Creator of international multidisciplinary art projects, All the Colors of Montenegro, Dye Wool with Plant Dyes, bringing together ethnologists, technologists, botanics, artistics, and designers from 9 European countries, using wool as a starting point for study and for its relevance to research and contemporary artistic practice. Professor Jelena, please, you can share with us your presentation for All Colors of Montenegro.
Thank you very much.
Jelena, we don't hear you. Perhaps your microphone is off.
In fact, Yelena has to share with us 2 videos, but let's see. Yeah, she will manage.
Mhm.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen, but it's stuck. It says picture.
Just a second, I'll try to bring my presentation. Is it okay now? Do you?
Yes, now it's okay. We see
Okay.
the video.
Dobro. Da nisu vremenski ograničeni.
Gledala bih još raznih
Boja. Mislim samo na ovom času, šta vam se sviđa?
Sve.
Dobro. A šta bi moglo da bude bolje?
Ništa,
šta bi moglo više vremena?
Više vremena.
To je to.
Sada ću prezentovati drugi rad. Now I will present the second work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Jelena. Now I would like to introduce Amina Radoncic from Bosnia and Herzegovina. She is a PhD student in electrical engineering and electronics at International Barch University in Sarajevo and an independent research scientist. Her work focuses on a neuroadaptive system biosignal analysis, and the design of technologies that respond to cognitive and human variability, with a particular emphasis of neurodivergent individuals. She has authored and co-authored a dozen peer-reviewed research papers and is the lead international ambassadorship coordinator for WIWOM Engineers Italy and a member of President Management Office for Embassies. Yelena will present a topic different by design in the spotlight as woman in science. Yelena, please, you're welcome to share with us your presentation.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, just please confirm.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I won't turn my camera on just to maintain my Wi-Fi because also my internet is very bad today. I hope you can see my screen. I would like to greet you all. My name is Amina, and I have a master's degree in applied AI and biomedical engineering. I also want to wish you all a very lovely day, International Day of Women in Science. And I want to thank you all for attending this wonderful online gathering, especially the men in science who joined us today. Thank you so much for acknowledging women. So my topic for today was different by design, and I will talk about the spotlight as a woman in science, which had a very hard time finding her way. So who am I? Well, I have a bachelor's degree in genetics and bioengineering and a master's degree in biomedical engineering. I obtained them all at the International Birch University of Sarajevo. Then I decided to switch a bit because I was a biologist for a very long time, and then I wanted to try engineering. So I started with electrical engineering and then began a double PhD in IT as well. So I'm a researcher in neuroadaptive system engineering. I'm focused on neuroscience, psychology, psychiatry, and I am focused on finding non-invasive therapies for individuals with ADHD and autism. I'm also the chair and international coordinator of a female association of women engineers in Italy. And I am a member and one of project managers of European Alliance of Medical and Biological Engineers, AMBES. I'm also a published and awarded scientific author and speaker. So when it comes to my personal journey, well, ever since I was a little girl, when anyone asked me, Amina, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always said I wanted to be an explorer. I wanted to be a researcher, and I became one. I did not start my journey as an engineer. I started as a biologist, and I loved studying animals. I loved zoology, and I loved insects the most, and I studied spiders. I actually own some endangered species of tarantulas, like those are the biggest spiders in the world, and I own some of them, and I studied them, and I actually did my bachelor's thesis on spiders. Biology showed me life, but engineering made me think about how the systems actually function, both non-living and living circuits of life. I was interested in how they operate. So I began as a biologist, but ended up as an engineer. So changing fields is scary, I know, and it sounds scary, but it's even scarier to stay within your borders, not to try something new. And fear for me was always an invitation to the unknown, something to explore. So I started charting my own path. And it was hard, especially as a girl that looks like this, you see. I'm not like your regular girl. I'm quite unorthodox as a Muslim woman. You know, I wear a headscarf, and I had some really nasty comments from people telling me, good luck being an engineer looking like that, which is very hard to hear as a young girl, you know. So was it my choice or my alignment? I would say both. And this is me holding speeches and presenting the papers. The first photo is me from my master's defense. And these are some moments I'm really, really proud of. And yes, it was my choice, an aligned choice to try something new, because I know that I could do anything I set my mind on, and anyone can do it too. So I did not let a piece of clothing define me, because it does not define me. It actually works in my advantage. It makes me special. It makes me powerful. It makes me capable. And it makes all the girls capable. Their mind makes them capable. So what I call the commodity of academic oddity is my research. It sits an intersection of AI, biomedical signal processing, and cybersecurity. I'll also work in cybersecurity. So from making LSTM models, neural networks, to EEG-based biometric treatments, I work towards building technology that will adapt to humans, not the other way around, you know? So from little girls' dreams to dreams coming true, I always say that I do what I love, and I love what I do. So I'm a full-time research scientist. I'm independent, and people ask me, how do you have time to do 2 PhDs? Well, I work independently, and I don't really have a full-time job. I work on contracts as a project manager, and what I do requires a lot of practice, time, patience, and a lot of nerves, because this is how I spend my days behind the screens. I code a lot. I build systems. I tear them down to see what's under the hood. I attend a lot of conferences, symposiums, lectures. Wherever I can, I go to collect knowledge, to upgrade myself, to broaden my horizons. And I spend most of my time upgrading my academic lifestyle through what I'm working on. So I also tried my luck in robotics, and I'm also a member of Robotics Association in Bosnia and Herzegovina as well. So people would usually tell me that what I do is not going to give me any bread. In Bosnian, we say, to ti ne daje hljeb nikakav. So I used to tell people, when life doesn't give you bread, you make your own freaking bakery, with all due respect. And no one is going to tell me that I can't do something. The moment they say that you can't do something, they doubt you. And they doubt your potential. They are scared of it. So don't let people speak to you like that. You are a girl in STEM, and you can do it. I managed it. I did it. And I switched fields many, many times, from zoology to classic biology to molecular biology. And now I'm an engineer, and I work in 2 fields. So yeah, I'm a living proof that you can do it. If anyone told you you can't, make sure to show them that you can. I actually had a professor who told me, you know, you are not really a student for electrical engineering. And I just said, watch me. And I applied for a PhD. So apply for grants, attend webinars, seminars, symposiums, give your maximum to academia, and watch academia hug you back. So thank you all for your attention. That would be all from me. I hope I didn't take up much of your time. If you'd like to know more about me, you can find me on LinkedIn. And also, I have my own webpage. I can send you a link. I actually have a web portfolio. So yes, any questions?
Thank you, Amina. This was excellent, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
I would like to say that Professor Lydia is here with us now. And if Ilda, can you share the presentation, and Lydia, Professor Lydia, to introduce only?
I don't know, but there was one question, I guess.
I think Yelena has one question.
Sorry, I didn't see it.
Somebody rose a hand. I don't know, or I just saw it.
Yelena.
No, thank you. It was a mistake.
Oh,
thank
okay,
you.
Okay.
Let me check. I don't have, I think, the presentation of Professor
No,
Lydia.
I didn't manage to send it. No.
Okay, so can you share it yourself?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Okay.
I have to apologize for the
No,
bad.
no problem. Yeah, it's really normal. Just don't open the camera during your presentation, and I think everything will be fine.
Yes, they are doing works on my street. They are making a larger street, so they just stopped the internet. So yes, I will be short in the first 2 or 3 slides because as I heard at the beginning, it was okay. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I think at the orange slide, there was the problem.
Yes.
Yes,
From
please.
the Orange Peel
Yes, please.
project.
Yes.
So as I explained, the first project was using textile waste and putting it back into circular economy. But this project is the opposite. It's not using or extracting raw material, it's creating it, and thus closing the project of the idea of circular economy. Did you see this slide? I guess you did.
No, we didn't see this one.
Okay, so the idea was to feed bacteria to waste from fruit sugar, and then over a few weeks, keeping it into fermentation tanks, it becomes the layer grows into a cellulose layer, and then after that, it becomes a fabric which is looking like this, very similar to leather, which of course can be used in the fashion industry. Usually the fashion industry is familiar with using leather lookalike from banana, from pineapple, from bamboo. I have myself used knitwear from bamboo. It's really, really pleasant on the skin, feels like silk. This material, up to now, has been used in fashion accessories, wallets, bags. I'm not really sure if they have been using it in clothes. Maybe the material is not ready yet, but they're on a good road to doing it. And also they are using it in, as the previous project, they are using it in home decoration, which is a good idea also. One of my favorite projects for years also, it's the William Farrell cooperation with G-Star. William Farrell is also now artistic director for Louis Vuitton, but his first entries in fashion was with the G-Star Row, with the line G-Star Row, which is called Row for the Oceans, in which they extract plastic from the oceans. They work with an American company called Bionic Yarn, and they combine it with their products. They interweave it with jeans, cotton t-shirts, and I have seen and touched the product. It's really, really pleasant and nice to be used. Of course, in every definition of the designer is to make clothes that are user-friendly and human-friendly. It is in the DNA of designers, so that's the first criteria, of course. So, of course, other than sustainability, one of the main topics, of course, it's the electronics and robotics. And in the world of robotics, maybe the designers who are present here would know her name, Anouk Wieprecht. She's one of the top 5 in the world designers who is combining fashion and robotics. And what you are seeing now is her famous spider dress, which can attack you if you come too close to it. So yeah, her clothes are built with different sorts of sensors, and they react on different sorts of perceptions and causalities. We have been working with the Dutch embassy in 2024, I think, in order to find budget to make her come in Macedonia, and she came. So we had the pleasure of why is this stuck now? Sorry, so we had the pleasure of making together this event with her, which was called Into the Light. First, we had 1 month of master classes, online master classes, And then she came, she stayed here for 1 week, and we had 1 week of workshops. And what we did, we presented at the fashion show at the National Opera House. So the first 3 designs you're looking at here are her designs that also are with built-in robotics and technology. But since the event was called Into the Light, we conceived clothes that are reacting somehow on light. For example, the first 3 pictures that you see, you can notice that the skirt has not the same volume. It's like butterfly wings. On certain music and certain sounds, it goes up or it goes down. So these are the designs of our students, staying in the logic and research of Into the Light. And the clothes were lit or would be lit or not in function of the various factors like hand clap, sound, or different other factors that would make them interact with the audience. Like, for example, when it's dark, you would see now here the real effect. Just to check up, do you hear me well now? Please answer me.
Yes, it's okay. We are
Okay,
hearing.
great, thank you. So I used this occasion to present also some of my designs. This was not in the frame of the robotics. I worked with, this is just, it's a laser cut inox that I worked together with a local company that is not only a welding company, but they also have a design program. And this was the idea of creating parallel with living in a golden cage. It was part of another project, which it would take too long to explain, but it was just an experiment with the symbolic of the golden cage. So this was another project. We worked with the French Embassy and the French Institute, where we experimented with 3D printing. But since it was the 400th anniversary of the French writer Molière, we took some of his verses, and as you can see, probably you can see at the picture of the middle, the corsage is imprinted with his verses. Actually, in the first picture is with a corsage, but interpreted like maybe today. And fabrics are printed with theater masks so that it keeps the design together in the same thematic. And with these designs, we had a window in Paris, also a workshop at Soline Daboville Atelier, who is the window merchandiser for Hermès and Cartier, which was a really interesting for our students, of course, because they could experience that in a top level. And this is some of the photos of our fashion shows. Inside our Faculty of Technology and Metallurgy, we have InnoFab Lab, which is held by the president of our institute, and also actually dean from 2 or 3 months. So the first model is with printed, the 3D printing is included in the dress. The second model is for the accessories, for the earrings. And also our students experiment with different materials, and that is how we obtain this beautiful dress that you don't really know, is it liquid like water or maybe metallic, but it looks really interesting. Also, we use 3D printing accessories. Our InnoFab 3D printing laboratory, we used it with the cooperation with the Spanish embassy. They had a jubilee from the birth of Picasso. So we were inspired to put his designs on our clothes, and also use 3D printed accessories that react to heat. So we could mold them directly on the model. They come out flat, and then by putting them with interaction with some heat, they would mold on human skin. Also, this has nothing to do with the scientific innovation, it's just innovation. But I'm showing it to you because it's some of our other shows and works. And what you see below, Modern Design na Thermophoscopia, it is actually the name of the Facebook page that I'm running, where you can see everything, every project that the students of design are doing. The engineer part, you can see it on our Facebook page of the faculty, but this is just the subjects that I am teaching. Yeah, this is my website. If you are interested to visit and to know what I'm doing, if you were interested, like Ružica said, I used to work in luxury industry for Rochas, for Balmain. And I do knitwear, handmade knitwear. These are some of my shows in Belgrade and Paris, Luxembourg, around. You can see it on my website. But I also do home decoration, and also I had some experiments with ceramics and home design projects. Also, I worked with San Francisco for some projects for iPhone, iPad, Galaxy. They asked me to design the covers for their mask for their phones. And that's it. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this time it was better.
Yes, yes, it was. Thank you. Now we will proceed with the next session to say with moderator Zurica Cvetkovska. Yes?
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ružica. I'm grateful to be part of this event. And now we'll begin this session with our first speaker, Katja Kek from Slovenia. Katja Kek is a project manager and project implementation expert at TITERA-SEM, focusing on smart textiles. She has a background in textile and fashion design. She works full-time on the implementation of EU-funded projects of various scales, from Erasmus Plus to large collaborative initiatives, focusing on translating project objectives into effective, compliant, and measurable actions. She is up to date with EU textile regulations and industry innovations, and collaborates closely with European companies with recent intensive work on the development of the digital product passport. Today, she will present on the topic of digital product passport. And Katja, please share your presentation.
I hope you can hear me well.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe if it's better, I can switch off my camera. Okay. So thank you so much for the invitation. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm here on behalf of TITERA, an SME located in Slovenia. And for quite some time now, we are collaborating closely with IT company located in Gdańsk, and together we are developing the product passport platform. I'm pretty sure that almost all of you, if not all of you, have heard of the digital product passports. They are very new and a very hot topic in Europe right now because they're closely linked to the regulation for the eco-design, where they are clearly defined. And in the future, they are going to impact a lot of different industries, and textiles is just one of them. And as we know, a lot of European manufacturers and textile companies, they are trying to keep up with the upcoming regulations and changes and demands from the European side. For them to know that the digital product passport is here at the doorstep, with its implementation already starting this year in 2026. It is quite an alarming situation. So just to explain a little bit more in depth, the digital product passports in textile industry, they will apply not only for garments, but also for accessories and shoes, also for final products. And the promise of the digital product passport is to assure compliance, to promote and support circularity, and also to provide traceability to the user, because the whole DPP concept is focused primarily on us as consumers, so the end customer, to have more contact and more insight into how the product was made and which steps were taken in the process of making the item that we are now having and wearing. So the concept behind is, of course, that the DPP will work by scanning the QR code of the product label, and it will take you to the digital side of the product. Inside this, the consumer will have overview of not only the information that are also now required by law. So this is like the material composition, handling, the percentage of different materials, the textile fabric, but also to have insight into the whole value chain of the product. That means that the objective and the goal of the future is that the product could be traced back to its origin, which means basically to the location where the cotton, for example, to make the shirt was harvested. So the platform therefore has to be quite complex. It has to offer opportunity to implement all of those information, but also to pay attention that they are like in line with all the regulations and the way how the data has to be presented as far as the EU regulation goes. Besides that, the DPP also wishes to support that we wear our clothes longer, that we pay special care for them so that we mend them if anything gets broken or torn. So on the other side, it's an aim to support also the maintenance of clothes. This is something we all used to do, not even so long time ago, right? But now somehow this got lost. It is very sad to know that a lot of people nowadays don't even know how to sew back on a button. So in light of that, the DPP will also include the repairability events of your product, which means, for example, if the zipper gets broken and you don't know how to fix that on your own, you will take the product to a nearby repair shop. They will mend the clothing for you, but this event, this mending event, will then be put inside the DPP, and this event will basically be part of your product history. Of course, a lot of times we get some questions from the side of companies, which I believe they are valid, because if you imagine a company in a mass production that has thousands and thousands of pieces made in 1 year, and they have, for example, one T-shirt in multiple different sizes, but not each batch of the T-shirt size is the same. So how then to integrate this DPP platform inside the existing systems? The practical solution is already here. It can be done. The platform can automatically be connected to collect the data from the manufacturing unit, from storage facility, and from logistics as well. But of course, people are mostly visual beings. This is also why we all like pictograms, because the image tells 1,000 words. So the aim is also that all those DPP platforms that will be created, they somehow offer a visual representation of compliance and the user engagement, but also the event breakdown. So what I meant before, this can be the repair process, or even if you discard the product, or if you resell the product. So these things, they wish to do it more in a visual way. Yes, I believe in the long run, the current situation is demanding. It's not easy, it's not simple, not from the side of the textile producers, but also on the side of the IT companies to keep up with the demand. And of course, not everything on the side of the European Commission is clear. There are some suggestions that 2026 is a bit too early. And they, of course, are trying to be flexible in this manner to maybe push the deadline for DPP implementation a bit further. But anyhow, the standpoint is that the DPPs will also become, in a way, a marketing asset of companies if they would know how to use it. So in order to promote their sustainability, in order to promote their environmental certificates, their circular practices, their connections with local communities for recycling, etc. So the sustainability and circularity and eco-design and all of that buzzwords that are now all over Europe and which are, of course, very important. The DPP tries to connect them into one solution that is fit for manufacturing companies, but as well on the other side to the users, because the aim is to make the consumer, the user, to provide them with more information, more insight into how things are made, how things come to stores, how things are handled at the end of the life cycle. And they hope that this information given to the end users will also raise the awareness and the way we perceive things and clothes, that we don't only see them as something very cheap that we can throw away when we don't like it anymore, when the zipper is broken, but to support consumers in responsible actions. So this is it from my side. Thank you a lot. I hope it was interesting for you. If you have any questions, please.
Katja, I have one question.
Yes.
First, thank you for your presentation. What do you think will be with DPPs regarding the items that will be imported to Europe from
this is a good
different
question.
parts of the world?
Yeah, this is actually the core action why the Europe wishes to push the DPP further and so fast, because any manufacturer that will have globally that will want to sell their products in the European Union, they will have to have the digital product passport. So if the manufacturer is, for example, in Bangladesh, but they wish to sell products in Slovenia or in Germany, their products will have to comply with the DPP. And
I hope that it will be like that, but I doubt. I really doubt, because just a week or 2 weeks ago, there was a agreement signed between Europe and India, in which we will broaden the import of textiles from India.
Yes.
I really doubt it. I don't know, but it's,
yeah,
I don't.
It's a hot topic, but for example, in 2025, our director was in Taiwan discussing with some companies the DPP action, and as well the same was in Australia, and they are all following what the Europe is doing, and to our surprise, they are already prepared. They showed us their efforts, platform development. They follow all the regulations. They have people employed to digest the information that comes in relation to the DPP. So it was like, okay, they know sometimes more than we do. So they are prepared. I believe that those that are serious with their export in the EU, they will follow it, because otherwise they will lose the market.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katya. Andrea, do you have some question?
I just wanted to add a small comment regarding Andrei's question. I participated recently at Technical Textile, the Present and Future Conference in the Textile faculty of our university, where I had to study a little bit regarding the European laws. And I wanted to add that the DPP is part of a set of regulations, and one of them states that the more sustainable the textile products will be, the less taxes they will pay. So we broaden imports, but they will have to pay more taxes. So even if we broaden the spectrum, it will be very interesting to see in the long term if they actually want to export to Europe.
Yes. Yeah, it is as we say, a double-edged sword, or double, because it is also, the Europe is now pushing to have a larger percentage of recycled fabrics in the product. But if you speak with manufacturers, they say, yeah, but to buy the recycled, for example, polyester, it's more expensive than buying the virgin one. So even here, it's a mismatch, of the European goal and how currently things are managed. So for now, I believe not manufacturers, not regulations, they don't have a common answer. They have a common goal for now.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Katya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to introduce second speaker, Andrea Nistorac from Romania. Andrea Nistorac is a researcher and project-based professional affiliated with George Sachi Technical University of Iași, with a strong interdisciplinary background in engineering, sustainability, and applied research. She holds a PhD in industrial engineering with a focus on sustainability. Her work focuses on eco-innovative materials, energy efficiency in construction, and the circular use of textile waste, and she has published several peer-reviewed papers in international journals. Alongside her research activity, She is actively involved in science communication and project visibility within European funded initiatives. Through her academic and professional path, she is deeply committed to promoting innovation, sustainability, and more recently, the role of a woman in science and technology. Today, Andrea will present topic Threats of Innovation, Sustainable Solutions from Textile Waste and Clean Textile Technologies. Andrea, you can share your presentation.
Thank you, Zorika, for the lovely introduction. I almost sounded smart. Thank you so much. Let's see. I'm going to try to share the presentation. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
Okay. So hi, my name is Andrea Nestorac, and I will presenting today at this lovely meeting regarding Balkan women and girls in textile. A paper called Threads of Innovation, Sustainable Solutions from Textile Waste and Clean Textiles Technologies. Environmental protection is a fundamental pillar of sustainable development, and our responsibility towards nature is reflected not only in specific actions, but in a continuous commitment essential for our lives and those of future generations. The problem is when, well, we think of the word mountain, and the image that pops into our minds is not only the one in the current slide, but can also be this one. This is how my research began, and it's shortly called Thermotex, Sustainable Insulation for a Responsible Future. Thermotex is the end result of the research done throughout my PhD studies. It is a thermal insulation panel made from mixing shredded post-industrial textile waste and shredded polystyrene waste. The research explores how the textile and construction industries can be connected by reusing textile waste to create new construction materials. The aim is to extend the life of textile products and reduce their environmental impact. The research focuses on supporting the circular economy by reducing resource use and turning textile waste into useful materials. These recycled textile materials were tested for thermal insulation properties, showing that they can replace traditional insulation materials with actually a better thermal conductivity coefficient of 0.033 compared to polystyrene, for example, which is 0.04. So it's made from polystyrene and better than polystyrene. This work contributes to waste reduction and promotes the use of recycled materials, supporting the transition to a more sustainable and circular economy. We always think of textile waste as a problem. Throughout the recent years, the amount of textile waste has grown exponentially. So why do we think of it as a problem and not as an asset? It could be an endless supply of raw material. Using it would reduce waste in landfills, and it would also reduce the carbon footprint of textile products. The literature review helped define the research direction, focusing on the use of textile materials for thermal insulation in buildings. But if you remember Professor Lydia's presentation regarding architect Clarisse Merlet's brick made from shredded textile waste, well, that also needed a glue and compression. The novelty this Thermotex material brings is that it needs no sorting, no adhesive, and it's from fully recycled materials. Instead of using a binder, an adhesive, usually a resin, for example, I actually managed to use polystyrene as both the matrix and the binder. So what is actually Thermotex made from? Different textile materials They were collected from a textile small factory from Iași in Romania. Exactly as the waste came out from their production sequence. It has different sizes because even if we shredded it to a specific size, it will never, the fabrics will never be cut in the same sizes. In order to help the research a little bit, instead of shredded polystyrene, I used granulated polystyrene, but that also has different sizes. And I used thermal exposure to make everything bind together, the entire mixture. And I used 170 degrees Celsius for 120 minutes and 20 minutes. Why 120 minutes and 20 minutes? Because polystyrene changes shape after 10 minutes, actually. And I thought that 20 minutes were sufficient to bind all materials together. But, well, setbacks drive innovation. And the way Professor Yelena showed us today the insulating properties of textiles when she presented the woolen warmers, textile waste actually acts as an insulating material. Polystyrene is an insulating material. The different sizes of materials pile up with air holes in between, and using no compression, the air is kept inside the mixture, and trapped air actually reduces heat transfer. So the setback was the fact that the material was uh, too good at insulating that it wouldn't bind. So I had to change plans and use a thermal press. I produced 9 panels using a piece of equipment specifically designed for experimental work at the Research Center of the Faculty of Industrial Design and Business Management here in Iași. The thermoforming press is equipped with 2 electrically heated plates. According to the experimental matrix, I made 9 samples combining 3 temperatures, 170, 140, and 110 degrees Celsius, with 3 heating times of 20, 15, and 10 minutes, and different percentages of expanded polystyrene granules, 25%, 20%, and 15%. The optimal variant was the one that was number 8. It was made at 110 degrees Celsius, 15 minutes of exposure to temperature, and it had 25% polystyrene. I actually even made a life cycle assessment for it, which showed that a package consisting of 20 panels of Thermotex, because this is how polystyrene is sold in packages of 20 panels, has a carbon footprint of 11.9 kilograms of carbon dioxide, equivalent carbon dioxide. And of course, from an end-of-life perspective, reuse is the preferred scenario, reducing the total carbon footprint by 4.65 kilograms of equivalent carbon dioxide. The main idea is that even if the polystyrene panels are 12 times lighter than Thermotex, Thermotex has still a lower carbon footprint and a lower global warming potential than polystyrene. This would be the technical data sheet for the Thermotex panels. I have already applied for a Romanian patent for the material. I'm actually going to go tomorrow to sign the approved abstract, and it should be published quite soon. I used post-industrial waste because of contamination issues. And I'm starting, I always wondered if we can use any textile waste to perhaps make these thermoinsulating panels or maybe some other materials. So there appeared another idea of a ozone vacuum-based decontamination device using a vacuum pump and an ozone generator. Um, we based the experiments on two different groups of pathogenic agents, a bacterial strain, E. coli, and a yeast strain, Candida albicans. We isolated E. coli from water and the Candida from skin. With the help of the Faculty of Chemical Engineering and Environmental Protection of Gheorghe Asache University in Iași. And we contaminated samples of cotton, polyester, spandex, and pig leather lining with these contaminants. And after 30 minutes of exposure to ozone in the vacuum chamber, a 99.9 of the contaminants were gone. And after 60 minutes, 99.99%. So we can call it a full decontamination process. The advantages of this hybrid vacuum ozone treatment is that the disinfection process is dry and achieved using ozone gas. The disinfected agent, the ozone, is depleted without leaving residues, and the ozone requirement is minimal because by eliminating air from the disinfection chamber, like with the vacuum, it directly interacts with the treated products, achieving maximum concentration and a shorter depletion time. Also, I need to say that the contaminated textile samples were placed between layers of textile materials, cotton, spandex, and polyester, to simulate the presence of biological contaminants within a cluster of materials. So who knows, maybe in time I can join you again and present a new Thermotex panel made from textile waste collected from perhaps a landfill. That would be awesome. This was the first idea with the decontamination process. We tried using UV light and some solutions like potassium permanganate. This you can see in the picture a low fidelity prototype. We participated with this idea at the Euro Invention Salon in Iași in 2023, and we received the silver medal. And after we molded a little bit the idea more towards the disinfection with the ozone vacuum chamber, we participated last year at ICANN and Innova Croatia, where we actually received at both events gold medals, and we have applied for a European patent. Thank you so much for your undivided attention.
Thank you, Andrea, for your beautiful presentation. Oh, we have some questions, I think, or no?
I just wish you success with all those products.
Thank you.
Also a lot of success on tomorrow's meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, now we can continue with the third speaker that I will introduce. That is Christoph Hahn from Germany. Christoph Hahn is a PhD candidate in the automotive industry, focusing on bio-based interior materials with a particular emphasis on leather alternatives. He has a background in textile technology and around 10 years of experience working with synthetic leather in the automotive sector, covering development, design, and research. His current research centers on the mechanical properties of bio-based materials, and today he will present his topic, Sustainable Textiles and Leather Alternatives for Automotive Industry. Christoph, you can share your presentation.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for the introduction. Can you hear me? Perfect. So just very shortly have to click through. Can you see the presentation already?
Yes.
Perfect. Cool. So I'm a PhD candidate from a German university. It's called Chemnitz. It's a place in north of Germany, but basically I work in a big car company in the south of Germany in a research department. Um, uh, so I worked since 2023 in leather alternative, and we have quite an interesting overview over the past couple of years of experience, which I'm very glad to share with you here in this presentation. When I click through my slides, can you see the next slides? Are you able to see the next slides? Yeah, you are? Perfect. So that's my first time with Google Meets. Normally I work with Teams. Perfect. So as you just said, I'm a textile engineer. It's always a little bit, in the first place, confusing why we also work with leather and leather alternative. But to give you a little bit of kind of an overview, nearly all of the leather alternative that are currently on the market from several startups all over the world. And we were quite in contact with a lot of them. It's basically a textile, like it's a knitted material that's coated in the end. It's like a non-woven, dry laid, wet laid, whatever. But let's start with the basics first. So currently we use in the automotive, we use normal leather from animals, so from cows, and we use also the synthetic leather. The normal leather is for us also very close to a textile because it's like a little bit like you can imagine a non-woven with collagen fibers, which sticks together through the tanning agents we put inside the material, and it has really beautiful properties regarding the material and mechanical stress you can apply, and at the same time keeping also the flexibility, the softness in the material, and therefore also having the luxurious touch in the material. So that is what in the end makes the leather for us, for the automotive market, also as a superior material. And on the other hand, we currently have also in application a lot of PU, PVC, synthetic leather. Always is a knitted textile as a backing, and then you have a coated layer on top. Most of the time 2 or 3 layers, as you can see on the right corner under the microscope. This is some kind of a material that tries to mimic the real leather, but at the same time always have kind of an artificial touch and feel and characteristic, because it feels more like a rubber or like a gum, and not really like a real leather, because it's not as soft as real leather, and at the same time it also has the same tensile strength or tear resistant as the same leather, but it's cheaper. So it's very common to use also in the automotive market. So based from this point onwards, what we discuss a lot also in the industry is how we can switch to more sustainable materials in future, because there are several problems. From the one hand, in the leather with the GBP 100, like the carbon emission. Also, when you're not allocating the carbon footprint that we will have from the animal itself, because also the production of real leather is very water consuming and chemical consuming. So the footprint is still very, very high. Also in comparison to the artificial leather, it's nearly twice or third time as high as for the artificial leather. Meanwhile, for the artificial leather, we use a lot of chemicals, for example, as PVC, PU, which have also a fossil-based content, which is very high in the material. You can maybe lower it a little bit by putting some filler materials, like you maybe have heard from apple skin or desert tex or whatever, but this is like a little bit very tricky, because you cannot really have a huge amount that's over 10% in the end in the material. So what we currently do is we try to develop a material that in the end is fully bio-based. And the challenge here is for sure the mechanical properties in the material. So in the market, there are quite a few approaches. Maybe you have heard of the mushroom leather, of the bacterial nanocellulose. There's also some trials going on with chitosan. And when you have a look into the cross-section of these materials, a lot of them get supported by a textile, and the textile, for example, or are even a single layer used like a kind of a non-woven dry or wet blade in a common textile process, and try to mimic the leather in this way. There are also kind of a lot of research work and literature you can find about the topic. One of the most interesting is from the Philipp Institution, also here in Germany, comparing some mechanical properties and behaviors of different kind of approaches to mimic the leather in a bio-based way. For example, with the mushroom, kombucha, but also teak leaf and some cellulose non-wovens. But in the end, and as a conclusion of this paper, you can find on the right side, they're never able really to meet the properties that we find in the leather, and therefore always are not able to meet the specifications, especially in these high standard industries like the automotive industry is. So this basically is like a really a big problem. So we cannot use the material because still the mechanical performance is just not there. Maybe you can try to use like a PU coating on top of the material to make the abrasion a little bit better. So very, very thin PU coating we also use on the real leather, for example, just to make sure the material survives 20 years in the car. But still the mechanical performance is very, very bad. So when you have a closer look into upholstery processes, for example, in automotive, the materials, that there's really a stress in the material, in the sewing process, but also in the upholstery process itself. And when you have like a bio-based material, it doesn't really depend on if it is like the nanocellulose, chitosan, or for example normal cellulose. We will always have a plastic deformation in the material because the material is not really elastic, which you can see on the right side leads in the end to wrinkles in the material. You can see even through very thin PU surfaces where we actually also develop currently a bio-PU surface. So also you can see here when you upholster a seat and the seat undergoes abrasion testings, the materials gets wider and wider, and because there's just no elasticity, wrinkles and waves in the material will stay forever and just not go back, as you may know from the leather furniture at home when you sit in and then there's a wave in the leather, and then you go up, go sleep, and in the next morning it's just flat again because it's elastic over time. This is exactly what we are not seeing all of the bio-based materials, except maybe a little bit in the rubber material, but the rubber material itself has other problems in bending stress, which makes it not usable for us in the automotive industry. So our approach and what we are trying to do and what we are having our research in is how we can use different elastic proteins. And for example, you can see here elastine and resilin as an elastic structure protein. We use them to treat the materials, the bio-based materials, and try to see if we can create therefore a material that has elasticity as the leather. So this is quite challenging, to be honest. There's also other proteins like keratin, for example, which you can use. But these two are very interesting because the elastine, for example, is up to 4% in the human skin also, responsible for the elasticity in the skin. And it degrades in the skin around about at 70 years. And you are also only able to generate it in your youth when you're 10 to 14 years old. And the protein is having a very, very interesting elastic behavior but the elastic behavior is only there when there's also water around the protein. So it's very tricky to make it work, the elastic property. And on the other side, the resilin on the right side, you can see it's exactly the same protein, but just for insects. And this is working a little bit more like a rubber. And therefore, for example, you would not need the water around the protein to make it elastic because it has an only entropic elasticity. So it is very, very long chains, and when you just stretch them, they go back because that's their position of low energy. So that's like how the entropic effect works. And the idea is to integrate these in the bio-based materials to make bio-based materials more elastic. The challenge here lies in how you bring the protein in the materials, because therefore you have to undergo an hydrolysis where you split the protein in super small parts, so it's water soluble, and then you bring it very easily through a fuller process in the material. But now the protein is too small in the material to have the elastic properties it had with the original size of the peptide chains. So you have to cross-link it again, or you have to go through a reaction to make the protein be bigger again in the same order as it was before. There we are trying different methods with enzymatic cross-linking, for example, or we modify the protein in a very specific way so we can use methacryl parts in the material to go for a reaction here. And afterwards, when you have like a closer look into the material on the right side, you can a little bit see that the fibers are treated with the protein, so it's around the fibers, and you have this it nearly looks like a feet of a duck in this picture, to be honest, but it like combines the different fibers through a protein film, and therefore depends a little bit on how you cross-link it on hopefully an elastic film, so you will be able to make the material more elastic than it was before. We currently tried this on a very standard cellulose-based non-woven, tri-laid, and needled non-woven to have our first investigations, where we already have received very interesting and very promising also results with one of these proteins. And the challenge is also to implement this later onwards in the materials like the mycelium-based materials, nanocellulose-based materials, which are currently developed by a lot of startups around the world. So a little bit is like a treatment that helps these kind of startups to improve their material inelasticity in the end. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah, that's it already. Thank you very much for presentation and having me here in the call. I hope you liked it a little bit, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you to Christoph. And thank you to all speakers.
Any questions? Just if anybody wants to ask something, feel free.
Thank you very much to all the speakers. I would like to give the floor first to Nina.
Sorry, Hilda?
As we are reaching the end, I assume that you have something to say about this very interesting activity.
So one of the thoughts from the speakers actually was in my mind all the time. This is from Ivana, that the girls are not a part of textile field, but they are this field. But of course, as Andrei said, the balance is the most important. So also the men are a part of this story and of this journey. As can be seen from these presentations, textiles are truly covering all aspects of the human being, So with textile and clothing engineering, truly cannot be scared of just disappearing one day, because we are so connected to society and to human. And as human needs textiles, so do textiles need human. That's my thought from this whole presentations. I would really like to thank all the participants, all the listeners for contributing their ideas. And if in any case somebody has or just got the idea of maybe future collaborations or future activities or anything connected to the future, you're of course welcome to just send email with your ideas, because as we already mentioned, we are active society, but we are thrilling to be even more active in the future. So yeah, you're all welcome to join our activities.
Thank you, Nina. We are approaching the end of this activity, and I would like really to thank you, all the speakers, Lydia, Yelena, Katya, Andrea, and Christopher. And besides all, I would like to thank you, Amina, which I hope it's an inspiration for our PhD students. And I think that all the presentations were very inspiring for us. They had common topics, so I really hope that you could find ideas, and also why not apply in calls like Eureka or different calls when you can be 2 or 3 partners, and why not to develop further regarding to the sustainability on waste of textile and leather, and on natural leather as well, which were common topics on this event. I would appreciate if you all open the cameras and we can have a last picture which Nina and Zlatina would like to share about this activity, and maybe to give the last speech to Andrei, to our president, if he wants to say something.
I just wanted to say again, Ilda, thank you, because I just know that it was great work that it was done. Thank you, Ilda. It's because of you that we have this already 3rd time Woman in Science Day also here. And of course, thank you, Nina, and all others who contributed to this day. And what I noticed also, I don't know, Ilda, do you have any numbers from before? But today, I think it was the number 55 or something like that.
Yes, it was a huge number, I would say.
It's a great
and
number.
I'm happy for that, yeah.
Yes, and let's keep it like that also in further years.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I really invite other PhD students like Nina, Zorita, and Ruzita, which moderates this event, to come to join us and to do other activities which are really necessary for our community. Yes, Mirela.
Well, I cannot. I'm so happy that we assisted to this presentation, because for me the key word was enthusiasm. And as long as there is enthusiasm and curiosity, there is also future. And even if you have to fail something, this is also a challenge to overcome it. So I really appreciate all the presentations. And what I would like to announce, I will send an email with an invitation to our International Conference of Doctoral School, which is free of charge, which is online. So I'm kindly invite you to distribute this invitation to your PhD students. It's our annual event at the doctoral school at university level, so everybody is invited, is included. And I think for you, especially for the young researchers, these presentations are really, really helping you to grow and to transform yourself and to become confident and to validate your knowledge. And at the end of this training of PhD and this beautiful journey, you will be an experienced researcher. Andrea was our PhD student, and look how she nicely grew up in our field, despite that she's not from the textile field. And this interdisciplinarity is a challenging thing, but a beautiful one. And this is the proofs of your research. So I will send an email to our group, and I'm kindly asking you to distribute it, because to be online 10 minutes without fees, it could be a good exercise. And I'm also involved in our because we have all the engineering fields, so we will be in good hands, let's say. This is in May, 13 to 15 of May. And I hope I will see you more there. Thank you very much. And thank you all for doing these things for us.
Thank you, Mirela. I really appreciate this, and I hope that everybody in the future can share information regarding to conferences, activities that our young generation can participate. I would like to ask Nina or Zlatina to take a picture of us, because I am not able to find it. I don't know if you could take a picture.
I could make it. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, I think. Is it? I think. Yes.
Okay.
And
I will
Savas
share.
wanted to say something. Savas.
Yeah. As a grandfather of BASTE, I would like to tell you two things. One is that I joined recently a school for hand weaving here on the island, just to remember how to weave by hand and so on. And I was expecting that I should be the only man in the class, but surprisingly, 50% of the students were men. So this is a message for the ladies. They have to work harder, because we are coming back and we will take our position. We'll be not anymore the minority. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that I'm really happy because of this event. And I already say many thanks to Andrei, to Ilda, to Zlatina, to Nina, and I forgot to thank our young colleagues from North Macedonia who did a perfect work during the presentations. After every presentation, I had the feeling that I have to address the 10 questions. They were so interesting, but I tried to limit myself, because I realized that it should take a lot of time if we started with questions and questions. But in the next organization, maybe we can give the opportunity to the audience to really interact with the speakers. And last but not least, I will send you an email, and maybe it's good to think, if you have spots in your countries for hand weaving, maybe to create a network for handicrafts and hand weaving, which is, it's not exactly engineering, but it's textiles for sure. So I think that many people involved in these fields, in handicrafts and hand weaving and hand knitting, they have a lot of things to say, but they are not networked. And so I think that it's good to give them an opportunity to interact and to communicate. Thank you very much for all the efforts, and I believe that in the next year we will be more and more active, and we will enjoy it so much as we did this year. Thank you very much. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Bye, and have a nice day to everybody.
Bye.
Hello.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
All the best to all.
Savas, did you finish oil harvesting?
Hussein,
Bye.
hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Friends. Yeah.
Hi,
Bye-bye.
Hussein, you are there.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Sotiria, nice to see you again.
All the
Hi,
best.
nice to see you, Mirella. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Happy to see you all This is
See
a
you.
great
See you. Bye.
community we
I
share.
couldn't miss that. I couldn't miss that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
Very nice. Congratulations.